Meantime, an uphill battle for President Biden as he tries to shore up support for his massive $2 trillion infrastructure spending plan. He's facing strong opposition from Republicans who say the proposal is full of, quote, big taxes, big spending, and big government. Earlier today, I spoke with Heather Boucher. She's a member of President Biden's Council of Economic Advisors about the push to get this bill passed with or perhaps without GOP support. I want to kind of start with the news that Senator Manchin made today, saying that he didn't support the corporate tax hike, not to the level, at least, that the president wants to. Again, kind of asserting himself as arguably one of, if not the most important Democrat in Congress, someone that you as the White House have to contend with. What's your reaction to the news he made today? And is there wiggle room here from what the president has initially laid out?
Well, the president has been very, very clear on his goals. He's been clear on the plan that he wants, that, we're going to invest in infrastructure, both physical and human infrastructure across the country, and that and it's associated with this tax plan that will address the problems in our corporate tax code and will focus on how we can tax work and not wealth. He's also been very, very clear that the door is open, that he wants to hear from folks on the Hill about how they want to pay for this and what ideas they have. So this is the opening bid of a really important conversation for the country. And I do think it's good that we are having this conversation about what we're going to do about corporate taxes so that we can make sure that the tax system focuses on the right investments for the United States.
And in terms of GOP opposition, it does appear to be strong. Mitch McConnell's been very vocal on this, saying I'm going to fight Biden every step of the way here. And one of the main Republican talking points has been that very little of the bill actually covers what they're calling real infrastructure, meaning only 5 to 7% of the plan covers what they're calling the real infrastructure. Other analyses put a different number on, anywhere from 25 to 50%. Just so we're clear, how is this White House defining infrastructure as it relates to this bill?
Well, we've defined infrastructure as the things that the economy needs to make sure that we can move things across this country, that people can get to work, that goods and services can get to where they need to be, that we can make sure that people have the things that they need when they're at home, like broadband, like not having lead in their water, and that we can make sure that people can get to work, that those folks in our society that have an aging loved one or someone who's disabled that needs some extra help, that there are resources to make sure that there are home health aides and supports for them and their communities. All of these are absolutely pivotal, along with the much needed investments that we need to make in innovation. These are all absolutely pivotal to growing our economy, to maintaining our economic competitiveness. It's about the scaffolding, the core infrastructure of our economy. So that's what this package represents. And when you ask the American people, poll after poll has shown that people really value these kinds of investments.
And you used the phrase a minute ago, opening bid, meaning obviously the door is open, as you said, for some negotiation here. Is there any non-negotiable point for this White House, meaning what are the things you absolutely have to have, not going to cave at all, not going to give an inch, and what are the areas you think, hey, let's talk it out, there may be some wiggle room here?
Well, I think the president has made very, very clear that, as we wrap our hands around this virus, as we made sure that families and businesses were kept whole while we're continuing to contain the pandemic, get shots in arms with the vaccine and everything, that we need to make sure that the kind of economy we have on the other side is a better economy, one that provides better jobs for more families so they can become a part of our vibrant middle class, and that the United States can be more competitive. We are now 13th in the amount of money that we spend as a nation on research and development, 13th. So I think the president has made clear that the goal is to grow and deepen the middle class and to make sure that he leaves this country in a more competitive position. And we've laid out the details, but as he made clear in his speech last week, he wants to hear from folks how we can get this across the finish line.